Do you hear me? I'm talking to you across the water, across
Derek and I met in grad school. We had a cohort model, so we took all of our classes together. So we met the very first week in grad school, and I remember probably that first week we decided to go out, a bunch of us who were in the same program, to go out to get something to drink, and we ended up sitting next to each other. I don't know if that was on purpose or just it happened that way.
We both were both like, all right, we obviously there's some like here, but we're not ready. And so it just so happened, I'm glad it happened that way, that in that time we just built a friendship. You know, like we'd connect with each other in class, we'd sit by each other in class and just talk and just, you know, see, like I'd be, oh, what are you up to this weekend? Just say, okay, have a good weekend, and just talk, just get to know each other.
waiting for a love like this. Every time we say goodbye, I wish we had one more kiss. I'll wait for you, I promise you.
That she was always just on top of things. She's very organized. She is just very studious, smart. I like that about her. And she always had little jokes that she thought was really funny, and she still tells us, you know, jokes now, and she thinks they're so funny. So I like that about her.
I thought he was kind of charming, but I also thought he was also really interesting too. I remember a while into the program, I went home and I was talking with my mom one night, and I said, you know, he's just very different. He's not like anyone that I've met before. But I know I was intrigued the first time that I met him.
You'll hear the music, feel the air.
We hung out at Calhoun one day, and that was really fun. Just kind of relaxing, and I love being by water, and we both love hanging out outside. So that was kind of the first time that I remember it being really fun. And then we also played basketball together kind of when we first started dating.
So I was like, well, you know, if I beat you, or if you beat me in basketball, then I'll have to just take you out, you know, and we'll have to get dinner. So of course I let her beat me so that I could take her out.
He probably let me win that game, yeah. I don't think I can beat him.
First real date was to Doolittle's. So we went to Doolittle's. That's Chrissy's spot. She loves going there. So it was part of the plan for, since she won the game, went to Doolittle's, and it was fun. We hung out at Doolittle's, laughed, had a good time. I really liked the food there. It was my first time there. And then there's this park right by Doolittle's that we went to, and we're just hanging out, talking, laughing, literally for like an hour, maybe even two. And we both were enjoying making fun of people there. So just having fun at the park there, and then we just wrapped up the night taking her home.
I don't know, I like lots of things about him.
Oh goodness.
I really like his smile, and I think his laugh is hilarious once he starts going. He kind of giggles a little bit, but it's pretty cute.
I'd say she desires to understand how I feel. With her, like if there's sometimes where she doesn't understand how I'm feeling, or if there's something where she knows I'm down, she always inquires, like, how are you feeling? What's making you feel down? And she really cares. And I'm a person that to feel loved, I need to make sure that person's checking in and wanting to know how I feel, and she does that.
I really like that he's really genuine and sincere, and he plays around a lot and can get kind of goofy and not act the most modest, but he really is, and I find that really attractive, that he can just be genuine in himself and not have to put on a big show for everyone else too. So I have a mountain bike, and Derek has a kind of hybrid bike, and we went biking on these trails in Theodore Wirth Parkway, and it's kind of this rough trail, and I was going ahead of him. We're going pretty fast down this trail. It was a downhill as well, and I heard him make some sort of noise. And I turn around, and I see him with his feet on the ground. He's not braking, but his feet are his brakes, and he's just gliding, and his bike is going out of control. I think he'd gone over a bump in the road or something and lost control and fell, and it was just hilarious. So then I was trying to stop my bike and get back to him, make sure he was okay, but that was a really fun memory too.
This is another thing where I was just like, whoa. So she knows I love palm butter, and so we had it, and I was craving it one time, and I was just like, man, I'd love to make some palm butter. And so she told me, she was like, I want to learn how to make it. And so my grandma, she said, you know, is there someone that can teach me how to make it? And so we went to my grandma's house, spent a Saturday there, and Chrissy learned how to make palm butter. And it was just cool that she took that much interest in something that I really like and wanted to learn how to make it. It made me feel good. She did, and that was by design.
That was me, but because he made me.
I remember the date. It was October 31st, and we had just had breakfast, and so I remember we went out for breakfast, or it might have been the day before that, but I know it was that weekend.
I had been driving around and I had gotten lost and I was frustrated, and I went to his place to meet him there before we were going out that night. And I remembered thinking before I went up to see him that I gotta calm down and just be happy, because I know Derek would tell me it's not worth it. And I thought, that's so true, and he's so good for me in that way, that he kind of makes me be better, and he doesn't let me get upset about the stupid things that I shouldn't be upset about, but I have a tendency to do anyways. So that's kind of what had happened that night, and I went inside and I told him that I loved him, and just because I knew, like, no one's ever really held me accountable like that before, and I thought that that was really cool.
I'm yours.
I think it was really just kind of a gradual process for us that, you know, we started learning more about each other, and we started talking about the hard stuff and getting through things together and growing closer together. And it really was just kind of a gradual process where I ended up realizing that, yeah, like, he's the guy that I want to do life with and just spend the rest of my life together, because I love him and he makes me happy, and I feel like we're a good match for each other.
For me, seeing her interaction with my family, seeing how much she fit right into my family, hearing all the positive feedback from my parents, my siblings, and just seeing how comfortable she was being with us. And I was just like, man, like, this is exactly what I've wanted, you know. And so it was really then, because after that holiday we spent with both of our families, and it felt just like, yes, like, this is perfect. I didn't feel like it felt like just a really good fit. And so that's when I was like, okay, this is what I want for the rest of my life. And so then I went ahead and I was like, okay, I'm ready to make it forever. The way I proposed is the classic reenactment of our first date. But Christy threw a little nugget in there, because and this is what I like about it, because she knew this place that had cheese curds that were really good, like the state fairs.
So we went to go get cheese curds, and we were having really great conversation and a really good time together. And I know we were talking about how much we loved each other, and we were really looking forward to spending the rest of our lives together. We got to dinner and had a nice dinner too, and the plan was that we were going to go to our friends Jill and Nick's place to play games afterwards. And I thought, this is awesome, because Derek never wants to play games, but he readily agreed to this, but it was all set up that I didn't realize.
It just so happened where we had a little downtime before we were supposed to meet with Jill and Nick, and so we ended up going back to the park that we spent our first date at. And the funny thing is, we had not been there, I don't think we had been there really since our first date. And so we went there and we were hanging out in the same spot that we had our first date and talking, and I was letting her know that I love her a lot, and then and talking about our future.
It was really nice and sweet, and Derek was talking about growing old together. And then I got a little emotional and started crying because then I thought, well, one of us is gonna die. And that made me kind of sad, so I started crying. Totally ruined the moment. So Derek said, I'm gonna go get a Kleenex for you. I have one in my car. So he left, and I thought, well, that's strange because I know he doesn't have Kleenex in his car. So I was kind of watching him walk back to his car, and I was thinking, is he doing something fishy? And it was also our anniversary, so I thought, well, maybe he was just doing something for our anniversary. And he comes back carrying a single rose, so I got excited right away.
The Bachelor, she loves the heck out of that show. The summer when we first started dating, she would make me watch I watched the whole season with her.
So I looked at him and I said, are you sure you know what the final rose ceremony actually is? Because I didn't want to get my hopes up. And so he said he knew what he was doing, and I ended up standing up with him, and he proposed to me and got down on a knee and gave me a ring, and it was wonderful. And he had my sister hiding out in the trees behind us taking photos of the whole event. And then after the proposal, he had arranged to have an engagement party at my sister's house, which was pretty close, and our family and friends were there, and it was just such a fun night. It was a really awesome proposal. I just want to say I really love you, and I'm so happy that we're getting married. And I just thank you for how patient and kind you've been to me so far, and I'm looking forward to that kind of in the rest of our lives and in our marriage together. And I'm so excited about where we're going together in the future and what might happen. And I'm, not knowing the future is kind of scary sometimes, but it makes it so much better knowing that I have you to share it with. So thank you so much for marrying me, and I love you.
Chrissy, we're here. I love you so much. Thank you so much for making me the happiest person in the world. I appreciate you so much. The best teammate I'll ever have, and we're gonna be the best couple ever. I'm excited. I'm so excited, and I thank you for loving me. Thank you so much for loving my family. Thanks to your family for loving me and welcoming me into your family. And I'm so excited that that we're gonna be one big family together. Chrissy, I'm excited for us just to journey and enjoy raising our own family together. And we look forward to everyone here supporting us as we go through our life together.